Words can be deadlier than swords. One perfect comeback can destroy an opponent faster than any physical blow. Remember that moment when someone said something so brilliant, so cutting, that the entire room went silent? That's what we're talking about. The verbal knockout punch. What makes these comebacks so powerful? Is it timing, wit, truth? Let's explore 9 devastating comebacks that didn't just win arguments. They ended careers, changed history, and left opponents speechless. 1. Benson's Kennedy moment politics is brutal, but few moments match the savagery of the 1988 vice presidential debate. Republican Dan Quayle, trying to boost his credibility, compared himself to JFK. Big mistake. Senator Lloyd Benson waited, letting the comparison hang in the air. Then he delivered the kill shot. "Senator, I served with Jack Kennedy." He actually knew Kennedy. He used simple, repetitive language that hammered home his point. And the final line? Short, direct, and absolutely devastating. Quayle never recovered from those 10 seconds. Have you ever noticed how the most devastating comebacks often come from someone with unquestionable credibility? 2. Obama versus Trump. When Donald Trump started pushing the birther conspiracy theory, President Obama didn't just get mad, he got even. At the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner, with Trump sitting in the audience, Obama said, "No one is happier to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald." And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac? The room. What would you do if the person you were attacking was laughing at you instead of defending themselves? 3. Gillard's misogyny. Takedown. Sometimes the best defense is a blistering offense. When Australian opposition leader Tony Abbott accused Prime Minister Julia Gillard of protecting a sexist colleague, he had no idea what was coming. She then detailed Abbott's own sexist comments and behaviors. The room was electrified. Gillard flipped the entire argument, turning Abbott from accuser to accused. Her voice never wavered. Her eyes never left him. She didn't just defend herself, she made him the problem. The speech went viral globally. Sometimes winning isn't just about defending yourself, it's about revealing your opponent's hypocrisy. 4. Burger's-Nixon simplicity. Legal arguments can be complex. The best comebacks make them simple. During United States versus Nixon, Nixon's attorney argued for executive privilege to withhold the Watergate tapes. Chief Justice Warren Burger cut through the legal jargon with crystal clarity. The president wants to be the prosecutor and the judge in his own case. With all due respect, that is not what the Constitution intended. In one sentence, Burger reduced a complex constitutional argument to its ethical core. You can't judge your own case. The simplicity was devastating. The Supreme Court voted 8-0 against Nixon. He resigned 16 days later. When someone is hiding behind complexity, the most powerful comeback is often brutal simplicity. 5. Darrow's evolution trap. The Scopes monkey trial pitted attorney Clarence Darrow against William Jennings Bryan, who opposed teaching evolution. Bryan insisted on a literal biblical interpretation, including the 6 days of creation. Darrow asked seemingly innocent questions. Do you think the earth was made in 6 days? Could you tell me what the Bible means by day in Genesis? Is it a literal 24-hour day or a period of time? Bryan eventually admitted he didn't take all biblical passages literally. That single contradiction unraveled his entire argument. Darrow won by using Bryan's own framework against him, exposing inconsistencies in his thinking. The strongest attack often comes from using your opponent's own logic against them. What contradictions are hiding in your opponent's argument? 6. Churchill's quick wit. Some comebacks need no setup. When political rival Lady Astor told Churchill, "If you were my husband, I'd poison your tea," Churchill didn't miss a beat. "If you were my wife, I'd drink it." 8 words. Perfect symmetry. He matched her structure exactly, but escalated the response. He didn't defend himself or get angry. He simply turned her attack back on her with twice the force. This technique works because it uses the opponent's own momentum against them, like verbal judo. And it shows the audience you're unrattled, even amused by the attack. 7. Twain's death exaggeration. When the New York Journal prematurely reported Mark Twain's death, Twain responded with his trademark wit. "The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated." Just 7 words. No anger, no correction, no demand for apology. Just understated humor that made the newspaper look foolish while showcasing his wit. The humor made the response memorable, which is why we're still quoting it over 125 years later. Sometimes the most devastating response isn't anger. It's showing how ridiculous the other person sounds. 8. Chen's academic turnaround. At a MIT physics conference, when a senior physicist dismissed a female graduate student's question as overthinking a simple problem, Dr. Sabrina Chen responded, "Perhaps if more people in this field overthought simple problems, we wouldn't still be struggling with the same theoretical inconsistencies for the past 40 years." The room went silent. Chen turned what was meant as criticism into a devastating counter-argument. She reframed overthinking as exactly what the field needed, exposing the complacency in her colleagues' dismissal. This technique works by accepting the premise of the attack, but reframing it as a strength, not a weakness. When someone criticizes you, ask yourself, what if this flaw is actually my advantage? 9. Hitchens on morality. During an Oxford debate, when a religious scholar claimed atheists had no basis for morality, Christopher Hitchens countered, "I don't need a supernatural being watching over my shoulder to tell me not to murder, steal, or lie." It was actually less moral than doing the right thing without supernatural threats. The technique? When someone questions your principles, question the foundation of theirs. The perfect comeback isn't just about winning an argument, it's about ending it. These examples teach us that preparation beats inspiration. Remember, sometimes the best response is letting your opponent talk until they expose themselves. Other times, it's a swift, precise verbal strike.